Hello everyone, welcome back here to number one game with that. And in this video, we're gonna talk about when do you start to go for the giants. Yeah, there is many different tactics around this and a lot of them work. But why not just show where I am right now? So let's go in here. So yeah, when do you start to try to get the giants? That's a good question, right? Well, what many people is saying is that you should get these one up to 17.5. Why is that? Well, look at the cost above here. It's a 500k when it's 17.5, but if we look at 17.25, it's 200k. Well, that is a little bit also bit towards what other things is costing. So for instance, like another investment that could be good at this time of the game is the metallic. And the max cost for metallic is 250k. So it's definitely better to then max metallic before you get more than 17.5. And in theory, there is not really a big point of getting more than 17.5. Of course, you can take higher, but there are so many other things like access and other things over here later game that you can save up for to get over here that's costing 7.5, 40 million and so on. It's better to do that to be more efficient for getting those. And also another thing is that we can go in, let's go into the lab as well. Into the lab as well. There is also one thing is could be good to have here, and that is the last upgrade for the lab. Let's just say it's a long time to run in here, right? As you see, I have taken close to everything inside here, but I haven't been investing in these two last ones here. Like many also is wondering, when should I have fossil record? Well, there is no point having it before you kind of get a big income from mining on those huge giant eggs, right? So there's no point to use 100k for this now. It's not gonna be a big point before you maybe have come to the epic egg or something around there, because then you start to get a solid income from these stones, maybe a little bit before, depends on what you have done of other upgrades. But as you see here in here, we are also saving up for the 5 million one. I'm actually saving up for this one right now, because for my lab setup, that will be a good thing to have in here. As you see here, this is my setup for getting as many stones as possible that I'm using right now. And I also have a setup for getting metallic as well. We will come back to that one again very soon. But I'm currently saving up for this 5 million here. I'm gonna try to explain why I save for this now and don't pay for the other ones right now, but we will come to that. So yeah, so getting these up to 17.5 is of course a very important thing there before you really go for getting giants, because it's gonna help you tremendously get those giants. And especially now after this crank has come in here, which actually is giving you 1.5 more in the generate speed, which is quite a lot. You see it goes tremendously up here, so it helps you getting so much more stones. So it's better to do it there than standing and mining those stones. So basically, getting these to 75 is one of the key. The other one is to get the giant luck to 6%. So that is just some few more upgrades for me. But I'm just gonna wait for that, because there's no point really right now for me to take this up there. I'm gonna come back to why that is so right now, but stay tuned here. And then also the speed, go for 0.6 there. You see again the cost here. So basically these rules that is here is basically back for my first video when I was talking about these things here, right? To go to 70.5, 6 and 0.6. So I have been gone for some long time, but I see these rules hasn't been really changing since that. So that is good to see that we can still use that old strategy there that you find in my guide. So yeah, so back to the question. So when can you really go for giants? Well, I think you can go for giants a little bit earlier. So as you see, I'm in the stage right now where you kind of should not go for giants, according to some people. and or some guides. But as I see, you can go for it earlier on. So if I just show my pet team right now, yeah, I already have 12 giants. Well, how was that possible to do? And how did I do that? And so on. But that's a good question, right? As you see, my damage now is 6 million. And right before I went for the giants, for just a few days ago, my damage was just barely 1 million. So I have increased my damage tremendously. And I also make my exotic pet, which is the Flutter I have selected for the first one, is also there. So we almost have 6 million in damage right now. So that's a good question. So how do I do this? Well, basically what I have been doing is that, you know, there are 2 new stuff in the game since I played last time. And one of the thing is the submarine. So this submarine gave you more shiny luck. So I normally use this every single day, once every single day. Of course, if you do a new rebirth, then you should just use 1 at a time of these 4. But as we are late mid-game like this, I use all 4 and get 1 over. You see, I have 18 minutes left for it now. So I'm actually working on that right now. That's because that's going to give me more shiny pets here. And again, give me more shiny luck. That gives me better income, but it also gives me a better damage, which also gives me better income. So that helps tremendously on that income that I have. And so on. But look at the income right now. There's a 2-time gold weekend right now. So, and at the same time, I also have activated boost, and I am on a pretty good server. So don't expect to have the same income that I have right now, right? So it is quite high for this stage of the game. The other one that you have inside of here. So this, now I'm really showing my trick here. How I got these giants a little bit early on. So basically, you see this one, I have actually 4 remaining here. So what I've been doing, just this one, I would not start that now when I have the shiny one. I will wait for after. And what I have been doing is that I have been going for a combination of getting metallics and getting giants. But I didn't do that before. Let's see here, if I go to the metallics here. I did start, you remember I have told that you need to at least have 40% of the commons to titanium, like so on. But I actually waited until I had about 50 to 60%. So when you have 50 to 60% of the common one, you can actually already go for giants. Of course, you're not gonna go for the big giant hunt to gonna fill up the giants. Because for the big giant hunt, you really want to get max out your metallic. So that's the next I'm gonna work with now. I'm gonna get that 5 million so that I get these that's here, so that I get this top level here, so I can get these 20 last metallic here when I'm hunting for metallics together with the other one. So that's what I'm really gonna go for, and then after I'm gonna max this one up as well. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna max out the rest in the cave there. I'm gonna do that later on when I start with the giants. But I now really want to work on getting maximum metallic. Since I already now have got a full giant team here, then I'm gonna go back to the metallic. But what I did in this one here to get those giants is that I used this 1 hour here, and when I did that, I made this setup here. So basically, as you see here, I've gone for gold cloning here, which is very good for metallic, right? And then the questing, which is quite smart to have to get up the quest cave. I can show what I have in the quest cave very soon. And then gold and cloning again, which is good for metallic. Then I go for metallic here again, and also questing again. Then again gold and cloning, which is good for metallic. Then I went for metallic here, but then I also take for giant here. I should actually have 5 in this one and 2 in this one here, so I did a mistake when I built this. And then I've gone for the tandem metallic here, and then 5 for cloning. and 10 for in giant here, and 1 for giant here. So basically, when I do that, I get a pretty good stats for it. So basically, and then additional, when I do that, I go in here and mine on this one here while I have that on, right? And then I also activate the titanium blade and titanium handle. So at the point when I started to do this, I think I had like 300 of these stones, and I was using up 250 of them. Or maybe, let's say I used 300 stones in total there to get those 12 giants. And additional, I also had on these 3 levelers here. For some part, I had only these 2 on, but then I added these ones here as well to get some more there. And it is very patient work for getting these giants. I got a little bit lucky sometimes and really unlucky sometimes. And then suddenly one day I got a lot of them. I think I got like 6-7 of them in a row, even with this with the stats I had. And at the same time, when I started to do that, I was actually building these up. So I had these at about 15%. So this is a benefit for you that really watch all of my video. So I started with these. I didn't have these at 70%. I had these around 14-15%, all of these. And as you know me, I always upgrade for look at the stone cost. So when I had these at 14-15% and the corresponding of this one and corresponding of this one here, when these are at 14-15%, then I started to go for the giant. But the really kind of kick of the start was to me to have about 50-60% of the metallic in titanium there. So that's when I started to do that. And by having those level 3 levels on there, using those, and when you start mining here on this at the same time, I would have, I had like 1 in 2,000 chance in the beginning, and in the end I had 1 here at 600 chance of getting giants. And then I'd use like, it takes 1 hour, so you normally would reach to do 2,000. So I would be using 2 times. I would be using the 25-50 stones for every time I did this. And I didn't need to do that so many times to get that. But also remember, you need to gather up gold so that you have the gold to use that hour. And then when I was done with that, I then jumped back to this stone setup that I have here and started to go back to the crank and started to hatch the good pets again and not the commons anymore. And like back to here again. So basically that's how I got these full giant team here. And it's quite good to do that. So in that way, I hope you understand what I mean by this. So, but my next goal now is to, I'm not going to upgrade these anymore. I'm going to save that 5 million to get up the last level 8 there. And then I'm going to go and update this one here. But during this period, I'm still going to use the shiny over there, like I did now, and stand on a crank with these here. And I'm going to use this metallic now. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use common. I also going to go and turn on these 2 here. And then I also going to go over to this setup here again. Of course, you can make another setup, but I haven't bothered to do that. I could, of course, make one that give me more gold here instead, and so on. And in addition, but the main thing is metallic. And then I will be standing on the crank to just try to get some more metallic. You know, I normally get like 1 to 5 metallics in that way. And that means you get a little bit more every single time you do that. And you will be ending up like I have here, 335 at the moment. It is what I have here. And also, as you see, this is how much I actually could gather quite high of these here. I wanted to have everyone titanium and have as good as possible before I really went to go for the metallics and so on. But basically, this is what I have been doing. And I also think I promised you to show what upgrades in here. So for the gold, I am this one here at the moment. I have 28 upgrades left. For the shiny, I have 20 upgrades left. For the metallic, I have 16 upgrades left. And for the egglock, I think I have 29 upgrades left. And for the giant here, I have I have yeah, it's 110 upgrades left for the giants. So that's what I have left to do there. And then when I have got all of these metallics and so on, and then I will continue on this one here. And basically later on, gonna come back to that, maybe make some video later on when I start to get more of the metallic. But you don't need to collect all of the common, all of everything before you go to the next egg. This is, you can look into my older videos. Think efficient. Think to try to get the full up your team with on common ones. Then get this up to about 60-70% when you have that. Then get a full team of uncommon ones. Then work with a common, uncommon, so that you get this one here up to 70%. And then you try to get fast up the rare one and so on. And when you get over to these ones here, you can actually try to get earlier than 70%. So because then you probably hopefully have so good income, you can put on a lot of levelers that will make so that the chance to get is quite high, and together with those stones behind there. But basically this is what I did to try to get this full giant team here, and I hope this is helping you to kind of decide when to start to go for getting a full giant team and increase your income there. Thank you. This was #1 Gamer Dad. Have a nice day. Thank you and bye bye.